Good morning, my twinnies. Let's see what is going on today. I don't know about you guys, but I had some really profound dreams early this morning, right before my divine masculine woke up to go to work. It's too long to explain this. I don't want to take up too much time. I just want to sort of get to the point here. But essentially, the dreams that I was having was really giving me a lot of insight onto where we both are at, what is blocking both of us, and sort of the road to coming together, to sort of healing that. I realized that me as a divine feminine, my current, and I'm just going to share this quickly just because some of you might relate to this, but I was shown that what is in my way, what I am blocked by, what is holding me back is, and what I'm about to go through and learn, is my inability to trust myself due to my childhood trauma. And then for my divine masculine, something about, it's not completely clear to me, and I'm assuming that it's not supposed to be, but something about the trauma from past relationships and childhood trauma, and just the feminine wounding in his life really having a hold on his mind, and the way that he thinks, the way that he feels, the way that he sees things, and he's aware of it because he's trying to get that out. It was like shown to me as like this like big machine claw like stuck in his, like sticking out of his head. Like it was quite gruesome and gory. And yeah, he was like aware of it. He's like, I need to get this out, like, babe, like I need to get this out. And I was like, okay, let's go. And all of a sudden I was in the car with him, and he was driving. This is the divine masculine leading, trying to navigate this while he's got this like injury in his brain. And then he looked out the window and he was like, oh my God, we were driving down this like spiral road, and it was taking forever, and it was going round and round in circles. We were getting somewhere. We wanted to get on the flat road to go to a hospital. We were getting somewhere, but it was taking a long time, and he was being chased by this woman. I don't know who this woman was. I feel like this woman was a culmination of the energy of perhaps his mother and, you know, other feminines that he's been in relationship with, and the trauma and abuse that this woman was hurling at us in the car, I think was symbolic of what he has endured as a divine masculine in his life up until now. So the good thing is the energy between us in that dream was very teamwork. Like, we need to do this. Like, let's get through this. It's going to be okay. But there was a lot of panic. So anyway, on the bottom of the deck here, we've got release. So the divine masculine wants us to know that, yeah, we are releasing so that we can come into this merging, this balance. Let's have a look. Challenging times and clarity of belief. Okay, so the challenging times that we are currently going through and currently facing as twin flames, you and your counterpart, me and my counterpart, whoever is watching this, they're actually providing a clarity of where our beliefs are. Okay, so as I was mentioning, my divine masculine in my dream having this like claw, like this injury of this like metal claw like sticking out of his head. It's so weird, and that is the thing that has been difficult to get out. It's like literally lodged in there, stuck in there. It was stuck in there by this woman, this feminine energy that was like chasing him and like throwing stuff through the car window and breaking glass and all of that stuff. The abuse that the divine masculine has faced is what's causing the way that he interacts within these challenging times. And about you, divine feminine, obviously your core wound is going to be different, or what you're facing right now is going to be, it might be different than what I was facing. I have to give context of this dream. I have to. Okay, so essentially we were meeting up at a Harry Styles concert, and he was coming from somewhere else. So he was driving to meet me here, and I was already sort of like there at the arena. And I was like, okay, well, just like meet me inside. And then he was like, all right, I'll meet you there. I'll meet you at like some specific gate. And then all of a sudden I was following the crowd to get into I was in a line to get into the arena. And there was like, somehow the way I followed the crowd, I was like stuck on this ledge and I couldn't get back onto like the ground to continue to walk. And I was like, oh my God, like I can't get across. And they're like, you have to jump. And I was like, I cannot like jump. This is like 3 stories down. Like I'm a big girl. I have a chronic illness. I'm not going to be able to like, just like get across. I was like, I need help. So I ended up having to wait the whole show. I was stuck there. I was just stuck. I couldn't move. My divine masculine was still on his way. This is where he was simultaneously being hurled abuse. This is where the claw got stuck in his head and all that stuff. And I had to wait for like some workers to come and bring some machine to come and help me. And when this worker got there, next part. When this worker got there, he said, wait, why couldn't you get down? And I said, it's like 3 stories high. I'll literally fall and I'll like injure myself. And he goes, look down. And when I looked down, it was like no stories. There was no falling distance. I could literally just step off and like hold on to something and just step off. And I was like, it wasn't always like that. And he goes, it's okay. It's like that now. That's all you need to know. You can do it. And I was like, well, can I just like lean on, like, can you just put your arms out so I can like have something to stabilize myself, to hold onto so that I can get down safely and securely without, losing my balance or falling. And he goes, you don't need to. Look at this thing. It was like this machine. I had like these handle things that I could hold and it would like stabilize me somehow. And I ended up doing it. And then I rang my divine masculine, told him everything that happened, and we were both crying on the phone to each other. And he goes, babe, I'm so sorry. Like I'm almost there. Like meet me in the car park. I'm almost there and then we'll get out of here. And then he was telling me what was going on with him. And I was like, oh my God. I managed to find him, got in the car. And then that's when I noticed this crazy woman and then this claw sticking out of his head. And then I was like, babe, like, let me drive. And he's like, no, it's okay. I got this. I just need to get out of here and away from her. Or away from this. And I was like, it's all right. Like, I'm right here. You don't have to worry. Like, I've got you. And he's like, I know. So there was this feeling safe with each other and navigating our own stuff, but through the support of each other. And I think my divine masculine not being there when I was going through my thing, when I was having to face my thing, was really symbolic of like, this isn't something that he can just support me through. Like he's, in theory, he's going to be there. Like he's going to be there in my life to support me. But I have to do the hard work of trusting myself and trusting myself to see things clearly. And I think when I first woke up, I don't know how it links, but when I first woke up from that dream, I was really able to see that my dream, like I just felt my dream was about me not trusting myself due to my childhood trauma, my toxic relationship with my mother. And that was something that I had to face on my own. Not that he wasn't going to be there for me, but it was just like he couldn't do it for me. No one could do it for me. I didn't necessarily need a lot of support for this because it wasn't what I was seeing. So anyway, we've got flow and just breathe. Interesting. These are like both really much of the same energy here. Yeah, with flow and just breathe, this is much of the same energy here. So this is something that it's already like, it's already set in stone, that it's already to be worked out. Divine Feminine, you are going to be really working with your higher self here and your spirit in general to sort of see that things aren't as scary as they need to be. There's something about neglect here too. A lot of you Divine Feminines feel this incessant need to maintain or upkeep or stay on top of, and I've briefly talked about this on my other account before, but stay on top of this connection in order for you guys to not get into a bad place or to not be neglected. That's the core wound. You don't realize that what you're doing is an attempt to not to save yourself from being neglected by your divine masculine. And your divine masculine cannot neglect you because they are you. And this is from a lot of you from your childhood trauma. There was a lot of emotional neglect, but just a neglect and just a disregard of you in general in your childhood. And this is like where this is coming from. This upkeep that you're doing on your connection is coming from a place of, trying not to be neglected by your person. And what's happening is that's actually translating to pressure on your divine masculine, because it's like getting them to do unnecessary work. It's like getting them to scrub the grout in the bathroom every single day. And that's what you're doing. It's fine for you because you can handle it, because for you and your subconscious is like, there's too much at stake here. We've got to work. We've literally got to work. And your divine masculine is like, I've got stuff that I need to do. Like, I can't do my stuff if, I'm feeling like I need to help you with this when there's not really a need for this. We don't need to scrub the grout in the bathroom every single day. Once a week, once a fortnight, once a month maybe, we can do that. But we don't need to do it every single day. There are things that I need to do in order for us to flow, this flow card, divine feminine, in order for things to flow between us, in order for me to get this claw that's stuck out of my mind from my past trauma and abuse. I can't be doing that if I'm doing this routine or feeling the need to do this routine. So like, you might be doing a divine feminine and you might be sort of like having this expectation of this, even the worry of your divine masculine not doing the same amount of work as you. That translates. They can feel that. Even though you're not getting them to do it, that worry that they're going to drop the ball, that's translating to them. That's translating to them, and that's actually causing them a lot of like distress. And this is why they're sort of like really distant, or they're trying to sort of really balance themselves out, just as like with everything else that they've got going on in their life. So we've got master, trust, believe, succeed. This is about you really being able to master trusting yourself, divine feminine. These challenging times are giving you the opportunity to master that. This is an opportunity. It's not, like another challenging time, another thing that, you're going to be neglected. This is about really trusting your divine masculine to do his part, do their part in the connection, and trusting yourself to let go. Like, what would happen if you just let go? And I think a lot of us have a lot of fear around that. I was thinking that to myself last night. I was like, every time I have this like anxiety about just being in my connection, I don't know, again, it's linked to that neglect, trying not to be neglected. Every time I have that worry or that anxiety and in my mind, I react to it, that is enforcing energetically to my divine masculine that like he can't just exist within our connection. And obviously that's how I'm treating myself. Like, I'm treating myself that I can't just exist in this connection. It's only when things are good and happy, like over the top happy and good, and we're having a great time and whatever, that's an indication of the success of our connection. When that's not true. And that's no way to live, constantly like in turmoil until the next bout of happiness. And when two people are living together, those two people deserve to live, to just be. And I think because in relationships in the past, I had been neglected. In my last karmic relationship, I had been neglected for 6 years. In my childhood, I was neglected emotionally, and spiritually neglected. And I think that's where this sort of like unconscious, and I wasn't really conscious of it until yesterday, unconscious like need to fix, to make sure that we're doing the work. It's micromanaging the connection. That's literally what it is. And I've touched on it before, but obviously back then I wasn't ready to delve into it. And it's coming up now, guys. We need to just what's really happening is we're really getting an opportunity to just be in the connection, to just allow our divine masculine to be and allow us to be, and trust that when things need to be worked on, we will become aware of that and we will work on them. Same with the divine masculine. That's going to be the hardest part, to just allow yourself to enjoy the moment and be present. I think there's a guilt that you were associating with that divine feminine subconsciously, that, you know, last time you just let yourself be and enjoy your life. The rug was like taken out from underneath you and everything was turned on its head. This is a lot of the times if we've had a parent just walk out unexpectedly, a partner walk out, someone give up on us unexpectedly when we were just enjoying our life or just being. I think that's where this sort of really comes from too, a need to be on top of things and micromanage the connection so that we're prepared for that to happen too. We're also we're prepared if that were to happen, and we are doing our best to prevent that from happening. And that is no way to live. And there is going to continue to be turmoil until we drop that. Opportunity beckons. This is really asking us to level up now. It's hard. It's so fucking hard. But we are really being asked to level up now. Reach out, okay? This is something for us to work on. If you guys have like a therapist, if you're resonating with this, if you have a therapist, this might be something to really sort of jot down in your notes how you feel about it and really work on with your therapist or counselor, or even just talk about with friends or family. I'm not going to take that, because this is a real, like, as I said, this is an opportunity. This isn't like something that's happening, you know, just so that things can fall apart. We're being asked to trust. And this is really going to be healing for our sacral chakra. The sacral chakra talks about desire, the things you want. Okay, trusting that you will see things clearly. And when things need to be worked, that's probably the hardest part, like trusting that, to just let go completely and just be part of this connection on a daily basis and not need to micromanage it or your divine masculine or your divine counterpart. That's going to be really, really hard for a lot of us. It's going to be so hard for me. And because this is like that hypervigilance that we have grown accustomed to. This is like the coping mechanism. If we can become hypervigilant, we can at least be somewhat prepared, because we weren't prepared for when our primary caregiver, up and left when we were kids. Even though it had nothing to do with us, it still really affected us. Okay, yeah, so blossom and detach. Things are really ready to grow and ready to evolve and expand, and some really great times are wanting to come into our connection with our divine counterpart. But in order for that to happen, we have to detach. We have to let go. We have to stop being the micromanager in our connection. We have to trust that there are two managers and they can handle their own accord. We can't oversee everything. And we have to trust ourselves and our ability to not neglect ourselves, not neglect the connection, not neglect our divine masculine. And then we also have to trust our divine masculine, that they're not going to neglect themselves, and they're not going to neglect us, and they're not going to neglect the connection. That's 6 things. And I'm sure there's more. Okay? But this wouldn't be coming up, divine feminine or divine counterpart, if we weren't ready to face this. So pay attention to what dreams you have, what information and insights you get from your divine masculine or your divine counterpart. Pay attention to what comes up for you, because this is literally just a learning opportunity. Okay, this is an opportunity, and we're being asked to embrace it so that we can shine, our truest self. We can be free to just exist and enjoy this connection. I'm sure there will be a lot more beautiful times to be had, like once we've freed ourselves from this need to micromanage our life, our connection, our divine counterpart, which leads to success and growth. Okay, let's get some messages from the divine masculine. Divine masculine, what messages do you have for the divine masculine today? My higher self is trying to reach you. Can you accept me as I am? This is literally what we were just talking about. It's like the divine masculine is saying, please, divine feminine, I really need you to just let go. And not like let go of me, but like let go of that need to control everything, to micromanage everything. I am changing. I want to be what you deserve. Okay. So, and this is really being demonstrated for me anyway, for the divine masculine, in the way of like that dream. Like when my divine masculine had that like literal, like needed to go to the hospital, needed to get that claw out of his head, he was aware of that injury to the brain. A brain injury is like, you know, can be caused from trauma, emotional trauma. And even then, he didn't want to let me drive. He said, no, I can handle it. You're here now. I've got the support I need. Like, we just have to hang in there. So your divine masculine is aware of what needs to be fixed, what needs to be healed, what needs to be worked on. Are you going to listen to me? And I feel like that message too there is like really saying like, are you able to hear me? Are you able to let me be heard? Because when you stop micromanaging the connection, yourself and your divine masculine, they have room to come forward and to really be present in this connection, which is, I'm sure, what the whole problem here is. I will see you sooner than you think. So for those of you who aren't in communication or contact, leave me alone, please. Yeah, like, and this is falling under, can you accept me as I am? Like, please stop trying to micromanage me in this connection. You don't need to, but you won't be able to see that divine feminine unless you are able to pull away from that micromanagerial role and let your divine masculine come through, which is another thing of trust. So this is something that you've really got to work on within yourself. My ego is loud, but I'm listening to my soul. I am striving for spiritual enlightenment. And this is falling under, I'm changing. I want to be what you deserve. So they are aware. You might think they're not based on what you're seeing, but what you're seeing is based upon what energy you are injecting into this connection, divine feminine. So just be a little bit aware of that. And if you don't like what you're seeing, then change up what you're doing. Get one more of these cards. I want to commit to you. And that's falling under, are you going to listen to me? So this is really about the divine masculine asking for a voice, asking for the opportunity to come forward. And it might take a while. And it might also take a while because it might really take some time for you to let go of that need to micromanage the connection. But your divine masculine is really asking to have the chance to be heard and seen. Can you let go? Not let go of them, but can you let go of them in the way that you have been clinging on to them, trying to control them? Some more messages from the divine masculine. I share your pain. So they understand. They know exactly why you do what you do and why you are the way you are in this. And then when I follow my heart, it leads me to you. So this is about you really needing to give them the opportunity to do just that, divine feminine. I'm asking, what else do you want? I'm closer than you think. So they're not so far removed from this connection, Divine Feminine. Be grateful for that. Take time to do what makes you happy. Yeah, this is really going to allow you to sort of step back from the connection and just really be present and be part of it. I know I made a mistake. Okay, so there could have been like some sort of something that happened that caused you to really re-engage in this like micromanaging energy. Because as I said, I've talked about this before, and I feel like I've been here before, and I've really like over the last 12 months worked on letting go. But when something triggers you or triggers your neglect wound, or you're sort of like having this prerequisite of like, oh, I'm about to be neglected, or I'm going to be neglected, I need to make sure that I'm not. So yeah, I feel like that could have triggered it. But this is letting you know that it's safe now for you to disengage from that. Clear your energy. Yeah. And then on the bottom of the deck, we've got, I visited you last night and held you in my arms, okay? And see only love. The best is yet to come. Need I say more? Divine Feminine, your job is to really sort of work on letting go of that micromanaging energy, and allowing yourself to just be in this connection. You don't need to do anything, especially not right now. And trust that when the time comes for you to do the work on this connection, that will be made clear to you. And it won't be made clear to you that, oh, you weren't paying attention. It's just that you didn't need to pay attention there until now. Trust that your energy and your focus will be redirected to where it needs to go. Like right now, you're being guided and redirected to focus inward on yourself and not on the connection. You don't need to worry about the connection falling apart. It won't. If you focus your energy inwards. If you guys want a reading, head to the link that I've got up on the screen, or if you're on Instagram or YouTube, check the link in my bio or in my description.